Guys, welcome back to Glam Finds. I'm here for a much overdue new in indie. So I know I'm a little late on this. I've had some of this stuff for a while, so maybe it's not new, but I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. And everything has gotten multiple wearings from me so far, and it's not even for testing. I just like this stuff. So the one that I've been sitting on the longest, because I was waiting for him to get his site up, and then obviously like I had a little bit of a issue finding time to shoot this video, is from the house of Park Sense. I have Plead the Fifth, Matrimony, and Foreplay, and the newest thing from the house that will be released next week is their new body butters. And I do want to show you the texture of these. So they're pretty whipped, which if you guys are like me, I really prefer whipped body butters. This smells really good, by the way. So I will also say this, when it comes to winter, if I'm going to be around the house, sometimes I will throw on a scented body butter and not put on a fragrance because I think it just does well by itself. And let me talk about the three fragrances that this house produces. So the three fragrances are Matrimony, which was, I believe, the first one. He made it for his wedding for his wife. Plead the Fifth, and then the newest one is Foreplay. So they come with these little cards. So let me tell you a little bit about each one. Matrimony, he said it kind of went for a BR540 vibe, but this one to me is more centered around red berries. I think it's really playful. I would say it's more playful than BR540. And if you're like me and you like red berries, because I really do appreciate red berries in a fragrance, you're gonna like this one. It is sweet. Plead the Fifth has cinnamon, peppercorn, red fruit, again, but it's not as pronounced to me as in Matrimony. Tobacco, incense, saffron, vanilla bean, cedar, ambergris, vetiver, both really sweet. Foreplay is also nice and sweet, and that one has caramel, peach, pink pepper, black cherry, red berries, leather, cashmere, ginger, saffron, vanilla bean, cedar, and jasmine, and in the base, amber, tonka, patchouli, sandalwood, musk. All three of them sweet, and I will also say this, all three of them beast. And I'm saying that because these are little 2 ml atomizers, and I've worn all of these to work. No more than one spray on each side of my neck, and I was radiating throughout the building for my entire work shift. So I'm gonna say this, these are really strong. Make sure that you're going somewhere where you can project and it's gonna be okay, because I know you guys like beast mode. These are beast mode. Beast mode, sweet, playful. I would actually consider them all unisex, although Matrimony, I would say, does lean a little bit feminine. I believe Foreplay and Plead the Fifth are unisex, however, or maybe they're supposed to lean masculine, but for me, because of all the sweetness in them, I find that they lean really unisex. Yeah, I mean, I feel like they're both really unisex. Let me just give it one more shot. Yeah, definitely really unisex. So the one for me out of all three of them that may be leaning the most masculine is Foreplay. And that's also the one that I feel is more warm weather, or correction, cold weather appropriate. Because it does have a little bit of warmth in here. Yeah, it smells really good though. I think they're all nice, they're sweet, and if you're gonna wear them in the winter, you're gonna be just fine because they do project. Next. So next, let's go to the House of Kings. I believe these are his main indie fragrances. So these are both house originals. So what I have here are Summer of Kings and Summer of Queens. So let me talk about it. First of all, I want to talk about Summer of Queens. Feminine leaning fragrances are not always my cup of tea, depending on what they have in them, because sometimes they can be a little bit floral to my nose. Rocky's here with us today, and some florals aggravate my allergies. Now, let's talk about the notes that you're going to get in this fragrance, so I can talk to you a little bit about why this feminine fragrance is my favorite one that I've smelled this year so far, and I'm being very honest when I say that. This has grapefruit, apple, pear, raspberry, water lily, honeysuckle, jasmine, caramel, sugarcane, and a touch of white musk. Now you would think that the caramel in here would be why I don't like it, because I don't really love gourmands, but this doesn't go gourmand, and it almost goes tropical on my skin. It is such a gorgeous fragrance. The fruits in here are perfect. I love wearing this, and I wear this a lot. It is a really gorgeous fragrance. If you're looking for a really playful feminine fragrance, I feel like this is perfect. Now, Summer of Kings, the notes in here are pineapple, coconut, melon, vanilla, amber, white musk, woody notes, ambroxan, and isoe super. This is a really nice, fresh, woody fragrance. The coconut in here actually rounds things out and gives this like a little bit of a different vibe. He doesn't do it the same way as you would get coconut in most men's fragrances, and I kind of like that here. It just gives it this little bit of creaminess, which makes it a little bit more summer appropriate, but in my personal opinion, this is a year-round fragrance. Yeah, it smells really, really good. To me, it's got that freshness, but I don't feel like it's just a fresh. I think it has a little bit more going on. So I find it to be really playful, really fun to wear. Actually, I find them both to be really fun to wear, and I think they might be house favorites. If you have tried this house and you haven't tried these, definitely give them a shot. If you haven't tried this house, I would 100% recommend starting with Summer of Kings and Summer of Queens. I'm going to link them down below, just a regular link. I really enjoy these fragrances. To me, I would say when I run out of these, I'm going to be rebuying a bottle because that's how good they are. Next. All right, next we have from the house of Happyland, and you'll see that this is different than the rest of their labels. It's Happyland Inlandish. Now let me read this to you real quick. This fragrance, this spooky fall fragrance, was inspired by the album and song of the same name by Hans Joachim Rodielis and Tim Story. I'm not saying that right, I get that. The notes to this are sandalwood, oud, leather, eucalyptus, tobacco, cardamom, birch, herbal notes, patchouli, cannabis terpenes, and mate. Now, I'm not going to spray this right now because it is a beast of a fragrance, but let's talk about what you're going to get, because I did write this down. When this opens up, you get these green notes, and it kind of feels like you're at an outdoor concert. You get what kind of has that ganja smell. I would say the good stuff. So a little bit of that. You get the green. You get the green cardamom for sure. The smokiness is definitely there, front and center. And you've got woods. Definitely sandalwood to my nose. So as it dries down, I get more smoky sandalwood with a green cardamom than anything else. The tobacco is present, but it's not as loud as some of the other notes. So that's what I get, and I'm gonna say this again. It is very, very strong. So I sprayed 3 sprays and got in the car. That didn't feel like a good idea as soon as I got in the car. So it's really smoky and it's really good, but just remember when it opens up, there is going to be that greenness that kind of reminds you of being at an outdoor concert. This, I would say, out of almost every fragrance I've smelled this year, has the most authenticity to it in terms of that smokiness. It smells like authentically smoky to me. Like it's not like a smoky note, it smells smoky, you know? So just know that this kind of gives you that like outdoor concert feel. I feel like it's going to be something that's going to invoke memories, send memories when it comes to that. But in the dry down, for me, it's this really beautiful smoky sandalwood, and I think it's really nice. So just remember that this is a very niche fragrance. Definitely get a sample of this, but try it because it's going to be something different. I don't think you'll have ever smelled this before. A lot of people actually say that they get like a really authentic campfire smell, and I can totally get that. So I'm saying authentic. It's not a by the fireplace. This is authentic. Give it a try. Next. All right, next from the house of genre, it's going to be Skintimacy. So this is not meant to be a beast mode scent. This is supposed to be a date night scent, and the notes to this are lemon peel, whiskey, white oak, sandalwood, lily of the valley, iris, cashmere wood, sandalwood, again in the heart, and in the base, one more time, sandalwood, white musk, and amber. So as you can probably tell, this concentrates on sandalwood. You know, it's really funny because it doesn't say anything about coconut being in here, but I get that. But some sandalwoods give me a little bit of a coconut vibe. The sandalwood and the musk to me are the most prominent, but that is what this is. This is supposed to be a sandalwood and musk fragrance. You get some sweetness from the other things and some extra woodiness from the white oak. And a little bit of sweetness from the amber, I would say, and whiskey. But this is a really sexy, sexy scent. So the way that this plays with your skin is going to be what this whole fragrance is about. And for me, I've worn it, and when people get close to you, they absolutely love it, at least off of my skin. This was a huge compliment getter for me, which I think that that's pretty awesome. I don't need beast mode fragrances. I mean, I definitely don't need all of my fragrances to be beast mode. So for me, for what this does, I absolutely adored it. If you're in the market for a fragrance that you can kind of wear on date night, and for me in the fall date nights, this is really appropriate. And the other thing I like about this is I've been able to wear it to work when I don't want to wear something loud, and it's perfect for that environment. This one I've actually really enjoyed wearing a lot too, and it is a newer release. I'll link this one down below. You can actually get it at the website. If you're looking for something that's just sexy, appealing, and just doesn't scream but kind of pulls people in, absolutely try this. And I think you could even pull a sample of this next. So the next we're going to do a twofer because both of these are pretty new from the house of Cindy Rhythm. We have Tempo and New Orleans Jazz and Booze. Okay, so let's talk about Tempo first because this is in the movement line, but for me, this has been more of a date night fragrance because it's sweet. It's got this really beautiful vanilla that for me actually doesn't go too sweet, but it's very playful. It's on kind of a bed of woods, and I get like a nice spiciness from pepper when this opens up. It smells really, really good. I can totally see it as something that you would wear out on a night out for sure, but I feel like you could pull it off on a date night as well. The notes to this are lavender, pear, bergamot, limetta, strawberry, and sugar. Explains why it's sweet. Mid is rose, pine, incense, cedar, tonka, magnolia, jasmine, pepper, lily of the valley, and then base you got sandalwood, vetiver, amber, vanilla, musk, oak moss, and ambergris. So it does have a touch of freshness to it, but when I say a touch, I mean barely a touch. This is really not a fresh fragrance. And I talked to someone about this and they're like, oh, it's you know, it's way more than a blue fragrance. Okay, I can understand why you would say blue fragrance because of the color, but this is not a blue fragrance at all. I mean, I'm telling you, vanilla, pear, I can even pull the strawberry, spiciness, sweetness, woods. It is really a beautiful fragrance, and I feel like it has like versatility. You could dress it up or dress it down. It is playful, but I feel like in a way that you still could dress up. So for me, I pulled the trigger on this the minute he released it. The one that I think Fragcom is going to be the craziest about, and I told him this when I smelled this for the first time, is going to be New Orleans Jazz and Booze. Because this fragrance, to me, after it opens up with this really beautiful machino cherry, it's black cherry, but it kind of gives you that machino cherry vibe that you would get in a cocktail, which for me, it just smelled so authentic. I thought it was really nice. I really like those cherries. I'll eat them by themselves. They're really good. You end up getting into this nice boozy fragrance that has praline, and you smell actual praline in here. So he tried to give you that New Orleans experience, and to be honest, I feel like he succeeded quite well. The notes in this are black cherry, rhubarb, raspberry, jackfruit, lychee, bergamot, cinnamon, and butter. You're gonna smell the butter. It's a buttery fragrance. You have praline, geranium, tonka, cashmere wood, Bulgarian rose, oak wood absolute, pepper, tobacco, bread, and hazelnut. And then the base, you have Spanish moss, vanilla, sandalwood, amber patchouli, amberette seed, musk, vetiver, bourbon. It's a boozy fragrance with praline and just that New Orleans vibe. It's definitely beast mode. Go very easy on the trigger when it comes to this. I'm being serious because it it radiates, at least off of my skin it did. You can go up to 3 sprays with something small like this, but with the big bottle, I wouldn't go more than 2, just on skin. I wouldn't even go on clothes because it will live there. It smells really good. It is perfect now that we're going into fall and winter. This is gonna rock in cold weather. And I'm telling you, I even told him, I was like, this is gonna be, for FragCon, probably your #1 release, because it's got gourmand vibes, it's got booziness, and it's got plenty of booziness, trust me. But it smells really good, really easy to like. He didn't think I was gonna like this, but the way that it's blended, it may not be an everyday reach for me, but it smells really good, and I really like it, especially when it's cold out, because it smells even better. I feel like the praline just works on colder days. So that's actually probably a lot of the new and indie. I'm gonna try not to wait so long before I do another new and indie video, because I feel like that's probably a lot of information. If you've tried any of these, or if you're planning on it, comment down below. Let us know what you think. As always, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like this video if you liked it, be subscribed to my channel, hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop another video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!